Ever heard of Darkwing Duck? No, neither have I, but I watched Count Duckula. Now recently I visited me elderly parents. I did things with them like fishing, swimming, smoking weed and pushing them down the stairs. You know, regular stuff. When my father presented me with a VHS tape, it was Rap Rat, the video board game. I screamed with excitement as I shoved it up my arse and turned it on, instead of the hilarious and fun board game. I was greeted with Tearing Duck of Mystery, Champion of Stir Fry, swoops out from the Chinese, Darkwing is cooked alive. It was Darkwing Duck! I screamed at my father before throwing him out the window. Anyway, my mother mourned her husband, but I didn't care. I had Darkwing. I mentioned I have a Darkwing Duck body pillow. No, just me, alright. Anyways, the intro was in G major and it was all kinds of disturbing. Instead of "Let's get dangerous," Darkwing blurted out, "Please don't eat me!" in a voice similar. It sounded like Gingy from Shrek. I was disturbed to the point that I hyper-realistically vomited into my mother's anus. Then the episode began. The bejingdig. Darkwing woke up to the sounds of an infant crying. It was Launchpad. I was shocked as Launchpad was crying hyper-realistic blood. Darkwing stared at him and said in the same gingy voice, "I'ma clap your booty cheek." He turned Launchpad around and butt-fucked him. I screamed as I didn't know gay people existed. It cut to Negaduck in a Chinese restaurant getting heard from the waitress. That's when Trevor the Rat from Meet the Feebles showed up. "You wanted to see me, boss?" Trevor said in the same Peter Lorre voice. Negaduck responded with, "Yes, we need to build a giant piss ray to destroy Sinkenard." Negaduck spoke in Donald Trump's voice. Whoa! Full stop. Trevor looked around before responding. "Listen, you're lucky I didn't call a Blake here too, otherwise he would have eaten your ass," Trevor said. Negaduck turned to Trevor and said, "So, you up for the challenge?" "Of course, Negaduck," Trevor said as it cut to black. It cut back and Darkwing was now fighting the Rat Man, otherwise known as your dad. Anyways, that's not the point. Darkwing pulled out his gas gun and screamed, "Don't eat me, please!" The same Gingy from Shrek voice. The Rat Man then shot Darkwing with the electricity before leaving through the alley. Launchpad then rammed into Darkwing with the motorcycle as Darkwing was left barreling into a Chinese restaurant as he flew into an oven. Then the green plant duck hybrid thing walked in as it cut to pizza time. Then a little goblin creature climbed through my parents' window, proceeded to break my ribs with his fingers. He turned to me and screamed, "You are now Darkwing Duck." I screamed hyper-realistically as the episode showed Jim Cummings consuming a whole ass roast duck with Darkwing's head attached. That's when the entirety of Disneyland burst into my parents' house. Goofy abducted my mother FBI style as the 7 dwarves used SMGs to shoot up my parents' house. I screamed as I was now dressed in purple, with a giant hat on my head. A beak emerged from my flesh as I sprouted feathers. I was Darkwing Duck! Mickey Mouse did a Hitler salute as Woody and Buzz grabbed me by my shoulders. They flung open the oven's door as I was thrown inside. I was being cooked alive like Darkwing did in that episode. The last thing I saw was Jim Cummings staring at me, saying, "I'm sorry it had to be this way." ... Dot.